Buckeyes back in action this Saturday. They are heading west to take on the Washington Huskies. What a way to begin Big Ten play, going to the West Coast. Washington, a worthy opponent. They've been hyped up to a point that it really is a one-score betting line right now. You can see Ohio State 8-point favorites in this one. Really, really interesting stuff. We'll break down that, what to watch for, and keys to victory as we preview the Buckeyes and the Huskies going at it in Week 5 of college football in the 2025 season. Before we get into it, I want to let you guys know, per usual, we are doing our watch party this Saturday. We'll be live at 2:30 to get you set for the game, and then in-game we'll have the score, we'll have updates, we'll be doing a giveaway. We are giving away our Jersey of the Month. You guys can hop in and either win that, get raffle tickets for it. Want to be a part of the watch party for sure. It's a really, really good time. And I always tell people, if you're driving somewhere, you can't listen to the game, can't find where to watch the game, this is the place to be. So subscribe now to be a part of our watch party this Saturday. We'll start things off with an injury report. Want to keep you guys up to date. Finally heard from Ryan Day on Lorenzo Styles Jr. Will play. He noted he's ready to go, and he had a good week of practice. I don't know what more you can say. We always felt that this was going to happen. I mean, from the minute he got hurt, Sonny Styles, his brother, and Lorenzo Styles both said he's fine. He could have went back into the game. Everything's cool. So good to see that for Lorenzo Styles Jr. We'll keep an eye on him as far as how he's playing with that soreness or injury, whatever it is there. Taariq Al-Uqdah, one of the better linebackers for Washington, transferred from Washington State, and then ironically injures his knee in that matchup last week. He'll be out for this one. That defense needs all the help it can get. Missing Al-Uqdah, going to be a really, really tough one there for the Huskies. We transition into our what to watch for in this one. If you don't know much about the Huskies, if you know a little bit, we're going to give you a little bit more to know, not only about Washington, but about the Buckeyes heading into this matchup. Beginning with the Huskies, three-headed monster on offense. Yes, three-headed monster on offense. They've got the guys to make it go. It begins with the quarterback, DeMond Williams Jr. We broke down a little bit about his play last week. Ryan Day, Matt Patricia compared him to Kyler Murray. Those are not light words. He can run it. He can pass it. He can run it. He can run it. I'm going to say that multiple times because, man, when he gets going with his feet, it is a difference maker in the game. 2 rushing touchdowns already, 6 passing touchdowns. Has the 1 fumble, but you can see his yards are stacking up both through the air and on the ground. It's going to be really tough to contain him. This offense moves through him, obviously. And again, Kyler Murray comparisons, very, very big deal. We will talk about containing him in our keys to victory. The second head on this three-headed monster, Denzel Boston, the wide receiver, projected high pick, first, second round right now in the upcoming NFL draft. And you just compare him to a guy we think could win a Heisman at Ohio State. Pretty similar numbers. I'm not going to say the exact same numbers, but pretty similar numbers. And you feel like if Boston gets a few extra catches, they're probably even, right? So worthy wide receiver going against Igbinosin, Jermaine Matthews, Lorenzo Styles. Downs will help out, obviously. Jalen McClain getting out there and making a difference. Got to keep an eye on Denzel Boston. Next, the running back, Jonah Coleman. Let me tell you, from my time broadcasting college and high school football, and then, of course, watching the NFL and college football, can't stand when the opponent's running back is called a bowling ball. That means he's a physical, bounce-off tackles, stress-you-out type of runner, and that is who Jonah Coleman is for Washington. Not excited for the Buckeyes to have to deal with that type of running back on Saturday. So this offense runs through those 3 guys, and those 3 guys are fully qualified to give Ohio State a very difficult Saturday. With all that being said, I want to know, how concerned are you guys about the Husky offense? Scale it for me, 1 to 10. Does it worry you? Compare them to past opponents over the 3 games the Buckeyes have played, 1 to 10. How worried are you? The home field advantage is extremely real for the Washington Huskies, right? The Buckeyes literally changed their plans to make sure that they are more ready to rock in this matchup against Washington. Little bit about what it's going to be like playing in this stadium. First things first, they haven't lost a game at home since 2021. Yes, I said that correctly. 22 consecutive home wins. 2021 was the last loss at Husky Stadium. You got a sellout crowd already for Saturday. They're reared up, ready to go, and they're going to go Purple Rain game. That's the theme for them. So you go from scarlet and gray, all those colors you're used to complete purple. Purple all over the place. You are going to feel the idea that you are on the road, right? Not only just the air of the stadium, but that purple is going to be bold and loud, and you are going to really, really feel it. That is a real home field advantage for Washington. Tough place to play for Ohio State. So when that game gets going, I think you're going to feel it too, whether it be on TV or you're going to the game or we're describing it for you on the watch party. Big advantage for Washington there. We mentioned the line earlier. How many points are the Buckeyes favored by? This is unusual. The whole situation here is very, very unusual. You have the number 1 team in the country against an unranked team. Buckeyes began as 14-point favorites. Yes, Washington's still unranked, by the way. Buckeyes were 14-point favorites. It's down to 8 via BetMGM. This is a historically low number. There's only been 2 in that similar area in the past 15 years. That's crazy. It is the number 1 team in the country against an unranked team. I'm shocked by this. We're down to 8. I don't think it'll go lower before Saturday. We'll keep you up to date on that. Very, very surprising here. We've had an eye on that line for a while now. Definitely interesting stuff there. Predict the score for this one. Always an interesting one in the past. People have gone high, whether it be Texas, Grambling, Ohio. I want to know what you guys think the final score will be to Ohio State and Washington. Our fourth what to watch for. Ryan Day teams coming off a bye. Ryan Day gets his teams ready to go. That week to prepare, that week to fix things, to practice, to change things up has been great for Ryan Day. Over the past few years in his time at Ohio State, he's made the most of it. 7-0. Give him an extra week, he's going to win. That's been the storyline the past few years. The Buckeyes absolutely are fully prepared for this matchup with the Huskies. We broke down for you in the past few days. They're going to go a day early to Washington to be ready for this one. Ryan Day has more experience now on the road. And again, we talked about that 7-0 off a bye. Knows how to operate off the bye week and make the most of it. So I am excited to see that. Also excited to tell you a little bit about PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks, simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. I always like to note to people, PrizePicks also offers injury reboots. So if one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks won't count it as a loss. I had a lot of people mentioning to me Ohio State stat projections. Is that possible? Take a look at this. You got Bo Jackson, hot name for the Buckeyes right now, going more on 45.5 rushing yards. Damon Williams Jr., I broke down for you guys the difference maker he can be. More on the 40.5 rushing yards. And Jeremiah Smith, trying to prove he's better than Denzel Boston, no doubt about it. More on the 4.5 receptions. So what you want to do now, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Our final what to watch for, we'll have our keys to victory coming up after that. This is Julian Sayin's next test, his first road start. Very difficult for the redshirt freshman. We talked about the environment he's heading into. It's not just a road game. It's that 22-game win streak for Washington. It's that Purple Rain game. The Buckeyes already planning to go silent count. The lucky thing for Julian Sayin, he's got Ryan Day. Taking a look, and I'll credit Letterman Row on this. Spencer Holbrook crafted this bad boy. This is Ryan Day quarterbacks over the past few years in their first road start with Ryan Day. Taking care of his guys, making sure his guys look good, except Kyle McCord. Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, Will Howard. Buckeyes still beat Indiana, so I don't want to go at McCord too much, but of course, no touchdowns and a pick. Howard showed up and got it done against Michigan State, which is always a physical and tough matchup. And again, he was getting into Big Ten play there. I think that chart says a lot, and I would love to see how Julian Sayin looks with those other guys once the Buckeyes get out there and take on Washington. For that test, look, I mean, the Texas game was like one of the most toughest tests you can give the guy. Yes, he was at home, but it's the number one team in the country. And despite being at home, it's a loud and crazy atmosphere. Sayin stepped up and made it happen. I'm thinking he can do the same against Washington. Okay, we got to knock this out because we've done it every game so far. I want to make sure you guys do it here so we can kind of keep things going, keep things moving. If you want the Buckeyes to win, you got to like the video. You don't want to jinx it. We've done this at past games, and it's happened for us, so just keep this thing going. Like the video right now. All right, let's get into keys to victory. I gave you as much information as I can on Damon Williams Jr., whether it be last week, this week, and game day will do even more. You have to put a spy on the quarterback, a guy who's specifically watching the quarterback at all times, whether it be passing or his ability to take off, whether it be his ability to take off after looking like he's going to pass. Benefit for the Buckeyes. You got the right man for the job, and that is Caleb Downs. Jake Butt, the former Michigan tight end, he's now with the Big Ten Network, broke it down perfectly, I thought, because when I look at Caleb Downs, he gives the Buckeyes a 12th defender on defense. Because of his instincts, because of his closing speed, he's a guy that can spy Damon all game long while still being and playing within the structure of the Buckeyes defense. So you get a guy that's watching the quarterback, but also staying true to what the Buckeyes want to do overall. The other thing I want to note here, you have other options. I think Downs is the guy. I think Matt Patricia will use him most of the time if they use a spy. Arvell Reese is fully qualified. Sonny Styles is fully qualified. So you really have three guys playing at a high level that could spy Damon Williams Jr. And we've talked about if he's struggling, if he's not going, this offense is going to have a very difficult day. Let's get to key number 2. Score fast and score often. Look, this comes down to Washington and who they are and how they play. The Buckeyes have to score. This cannot be a knock them down, drag it out game, down to the wire like it was against Texas. You do have the number one team in the country against an unranked team. Washington can score. You don't want to leave it up to a few possessions at the end of the game. Looking at the Washington offense, 61.7 points per game, 26 touchdowns, 75% on third down, 100% on fourth down. They've only punted twice, folks, and that was last week. So it took them 2 weeks to be forced into a punt. This is a really, really good offense. The Buckeyes have to go big. You have to score a bunch. You have to hit those big plays. Multiple guys have to get going. Some players have to go above and beyond. You can't sit back and go conservative and just make sure you control the games the way you did against Texas. That can't happen here. Washington's going to find some scores. They have a good offense. They have good players within that offense. Buckeyes have to make sure they score often, really get things going on offense, build that lead up, make sure Washington knows that they're chasing you, not going back and forth. Speaking of touchdowns, who do you think will score the first touchdown for the Buckeyes? You've got a player that scored in all 3 games. It's Carnell Tate. C.J. Donaldson scored that first one against Texas. Jeremiah Smith really wants to get things going. You got options galore right now. I think it's really, really interesting. This will be our pinned comment, so let me know down in the comment section below. Who do you think scores the first touchdown for the Buckeyes? Our final key to victory, our third one here, you got to play OG Big Ten football. All right, this is a Pac-12 team. All right, that's who Washington has been in the past. That's who they are. Right? They think every single game is 50-something to 50-something, 60-something to 50-something. That's not how you operate in Big Ten football. And the Buckeyes need to make sure they show them this. Get physical on the O-line, get physical on the D-line, hit your big plays, take care of those moments that you think you need to make sure they know who the Ohio State Buckeyes are. We've seen it with USC. USC gets in these games and they quickly figure out, we're not going to score 50 points tonight. How are we going to operate? Do the same to the Huskies. Go, go, go. Rack up the scores. Really make it happen. I think Big Ten football, still what it is and what it has been. So all these teams stepping into the Big Ten, it's important to kind of knock them in the mouth. Let them know, hey, welcome to the Big Ten. This is how we play here. We're not doing gigantic scores. We're not doing, like I said, the 60 to 50, all those scores that just get racked up. I think Ohio State can set the tone here and, per se, welcome Washington to the Big Ten, letting them know how they kind of operate, so on and so forth. You gave your score prediction. Time for me to give mine. I think Ohio State gives them a Big Ten game, but a confident victory on the road. I like what the Buckeyes have done this season. I think they can continue it in Washington. 34-21 Ohio State. We'll see you Saturday.